Hey, greetings, happy Mother's Day, and welcome to week 2 for Nonprofit 301 during Maymester here at USC Upstate. Well, your first week is over. I thought what I'd do is just spend a minute or two kind of going over the good, the bad, the ugly, and we'll move forward. As I mentioned in the video from last week, I had some expectations about deadlines, right? So the deadline for the quiz was last night at midnight. And out of the 17 people in the class, 5 have met the deadline. Not only for the quiz, but for the journal and video postings that were due. If you fall behind, it's going to be extremely difficult to catch up. So I'm going to leave the quiz link open until Wednesday. If you don't have the quiz done by Wednesday, well, I'm going to cut it off and you won't get credit for the quiz. Let me talk to you again about the quizzes. 5 essay-type questions. That means they're open-ended. You can use your book. You can use notes that you've been taking. You can use the ancillary materials that I've put up for you in Blackboard. All those things are there. And I'm interested in the depth and breadth of response. And as I mentioned before, a full paragraph, sometimes 2, are necessary to fully answer the question. If I ask you to describe something, I don't want just a bulleted list of things. I want you to describe them. And I want you to answer the question in a way that would show that you've read the material and that you understand what you're reading. Okay, so that's enough of the kind of lecture about the quiz and the postings. To pass the class, you got to do it. But long and short of it. So for those of you that are behind, catch up. I don't want you to misconstrue my comments, or this isn't meant to be ugly, but if you can't keep up at this pace already and you're behind, you might think about dropping out of the class. But catch up. This week, the deliverables are, you got 3 more chapters to read. We're going to be looking at the relationship between the government and business and the nonprofit sector. We're going to look at historical developments and kind of recent trends in nonprofit organizations, nonprofit management, nonprofit leadership, and then we're going to get into, in Chapter 6, the very first big sector in nonprofit, and that is healthcare. When we think about nonprofit healthcare, major hospitals, healthcare organizations, many faith-based organizations have health outreach. There are a number of healthcare related, from the Doctors Without Borders to the American Red Cross to TRICARE. There's just a number of them. So read those 3 chapters. In addition, there are 2 articles that you're to read. One is about corporate responsibility in the nonprofit sector, which talks about how businesses have a moral and ethical responsibility and obligation to partner with nonprofits and help take care of nonprofit-related issues. And the second article explores the relationship between nonprofit organizations and local governments. As with last week, which was week 1 and week 2, by Saturday at midnight, I want you to submit your journal articles and take quiz number 2. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, about the quiz link, I'm going to keep, for quiz 1, I'm going to keep it open until Wednesday. I'm going to give you until Wednesday, if you haven't done the journal entries, to do the journals. Again, the journal is a paragraph or 2 response to the reading of an article or watching a video. Now, let me leave this with you again, and that is, if you run into questions, concerns, you run up on a snag, something's causing you some difficulty, call me, email me. I think I heard from 2 people last week that told me their book didn't arrive in time, so I've made special arrangements there. I'm here to help you be successful in the class, but it requires a partnership. I'll do what I need to do, but you need to do what you need to do. And so, having said that, get into the Solomon book, kick out those 3 chapters, go through them, read the extra 2 articles. Again, I want to remind you to start thinking about the organizational interview. You've got an assignment that's going to come up here in another week, where you'll have to interview someone in a nonprofit organization and ask them questions about the organization, its history, its mission, its vision, how its board is comprised, where do they get their resources, the size of their budget, those types of things. And also you'll have a course paper where you'll have to take a topic that you've studied in the course and write a paper on it. But anyway, if you've got questions this week, please let me know, and I'll help you out. I'll do whatever I can for you to be successful. I hope you have a great week, and let me know if you got problems.